Welcome to our YouTube channel, Lancelot.
Mr. AKA Skim Manyora.
Skim Manyora, the founder of Skim Manyora. So, tell us about yourself, like who you are, where you grew up, when you went to school, just a little bit of a background before we get into the business part of this interview.
Okay, Mr. Lancelot is a boy from a village called Pela. I was born and raised called Pela.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to have a line and when I was born and raised called Pela, that is why I get up there. That was me. Yeah, and I attended my primary school called Pela from grade 1 up to 3. And then I moved the side, Kata Totana School of Clemonte, and then I moved to Klerksdorp. That's where I went to school up until grade 10, and then Kabala back to Northwest for Komotoli High School in the West.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically I come to one. I stayed in different places. Yeah, I'm a South African. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So you know what? I think me and the viewers, we want to know about Manyora. So tell us about this brand, where it started, how it originated. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The brand, well, the brand initially started in 2014. So that's just me and a group of guys that I met in varsity. We were all there together, and I met the best crew of friends. I never thought that I could meet people like that.
Wow.
And so what happened is then, because Kimuzwana, I called them Manoa, because. And then it happened that it became something that I wanted to change the narrative of the word itself, Manyora.
Wow.
Manyora at the time is always associated with bad things or thuggish behavior or what. So I wanted to change the narrative around that. So we met and then we were doing the same course. By the way, I'm a professional teacher.
Yes.
So this interview is about bounce.
Yeah. So and then that happened. Finished my degree on record time with my friends, and we were all tutors. And then what happened is, before the clothing brand, what actually started the clothing brand was Manyora Mathematics, because me and my friends, we all majored in mathematics. So Manyora Mathematics, but trigonometry. Yeah. So, and then what happened is, after Manyora Mathematics, I started that because I wanted to change, even to show kids. You see how simple maths was, because I was a tutor for about 3 years. So I'm a professional teacher now for 3 years, but I'm a professional tutor for 5 years.
Wow.
Is it different? So it's one
school. Yeah, the other one's after school.
Okay.
You know? I get you. So yeah, we started that, and then we branched out into other schools and other locations. So yeah.
I get you.
That's nice one. So like on this channel, we're all about empowering people to start their own business. So if somebody wanted to start their own business, like what challenges have you experienced in this industry of the clothing industry, so that somebody who wants to start but also just bypass all of those?
Okay, the first thing I would tell somebody is that when it comes to the clothing, it's a challenge. It's a challenge because almost every second guy, especially Kolokshi, so every second guy has a clothing brand. So it's about who knows you, how many people do you know, how many people know you, how many people are interested in your style of clothing first. Because before you can dress other people, you have to look smart yourself. So people have always had this thing of liking what I like, the clothes I used to wear and stuff. So and then that is how I even came up with the thing of let me make my own brand and share my fashion designs and style with other people. So it was that thing. So that is why even my brand now is doing so well, because even the things that I have on my catalog, they are things that people like.
Wow.
So they are selling themselves. I don't even have to do a lot of work.
So you don't even struggle with marketing, you're like...
No, I don't. I'd be lying if I'd be saying I'm struggling with marketing. I'm not. The only issue.
And the lifestyle.
Yeah. So the only issue is what I'm saying now, that Kolokshini, that's the problem. Every second guy has a clothing brand or have a brand of some sort. Because when we started this with the very same friends I was talking about earlier on, because this came someone else.
Sure.
So the very same friends, when I started this whole clothing thing, I made car stickers, the whole thing.
Wow.
So we have car stickers.
So it goes further than just clothes.
Exactly.
It's actually a lifestyle.
We had events. We had to make sure that we promote this thing with everything that we can, like with everything.
Wow.
Getting on the promotion topic. So, the way the economy is right now, it's so much technology.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know what is technology playing in your company?
Technology is playing a big role in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's playing a very big role, especially Facebook.
Yeah.
Specifically Facebook, because that's where most of my clients come from. Because I've noticed something about Facebook that is different from Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter and Instagram, it's likes and retweets. On Facebook, it's likes and there's an inbox where people can inbox you. It's more, you can interact more with your clientele. Yeah. It gives you that platform of being free. Of being free on how you want to do your marketing. So it's not restricting you to have these nice Instagram pictures. You have to go to Durban and take a picture of Manyora next to the beach, on Facebook. So Facebook is doing wonders for me. And also with that, I came up with this thing called Manyora Friday. And now there's a new one that I developed last week. Yes. So every Friday I upload pictures of my customers wearing Manyora. So everybody wanna see themselves on the page. Yes. Because it's like now I have over 1,500 people on the page. Yes, that follow the page. So you can imagine. So people want to be known that they also wear Manyora. So it's working nicely for me. Technology is working wonders for me.
Yes, talk about young people doing things.
Facebook campaigns. On the topic of Facebook, right? So we also did obviously a little bit of a background check, went through your Facebook, and we saw these really cool kids at school. So tell us more about your projects with the schools and communities.
Okay, as I said, I'm a professional teacher myself. So being a professional teacher, I value education a lot. I value education, I value friendship. So with that being said, I've been working with a couple of schools for a couple of years. So what happens is that the very same schools that offer me these opportunities to teach my extra classes and other things, yes, as a tutor. What I do is, because most of those schools are privileged schools, so I take what I get from there, I give it to the less privileged kids so that they can have that balance, so that I can create that balance in society.
A lot of people there's
there's a huge gap in our society. We have to be honest.
Incentive, and
then when you get to the township, it's like so. Hence, I'm saying those schools. What happens is we go to schools. I have a fundraising movement that I work with. Fundraising organization. It's called Senyakao Pink Fundraiser.
Shout out, guys.
Yeah, shout out to Senyakao. He's one of my partners on that. So I work with him a lot. I work closely with him, and he's the founder of that organization. So I work closely with him, and he's my brand ambassador as well. Okay. Because he's also an artist and a dancer. So I work with him. So that is why I decided that my charity work, I'm gonna do it on his brand, via his movement. So I give clothes. I donate clothes. Some of my clothes for my brand, and masks, yes, pants.
Really
talk
cool
about it.
Yes. Giving back.
So at least I'm loving that we're on this topic of giving back. So in terms of young people, you were once there.
Yeah.
So what would you advise a young guy trying to break through in this industry?
Well, first of all, they have to be. Oh my God, how do I say this? I want the right word. I want to say something.
I'm afraid to even finish it.
I want the right word. They have to be passionate about it. Because it's not about the money. It's not about having enough money. When I started this brand, I started this brand. I didn't have enough money to start this brand, but I started this brand. I had a vision that I wanted to have a clothing brand. I had a vision that I wanted to have a tutoring program of my own. So the tutoring brand started my clothing brand.
Yeah. You know, and a lot of people, you know, especially young people, they think if you just have a business plan and throw it in a funding institution, things will work.
Nah, you don't understand. You have to make a plan, and like what I'm saying now, you have to use what you have, right? So I'm a teacher, and I've also been a tutor for like 3 years before I became a professional teacher.
Yeah.
So I think it is better to say I was better off like as a tutor than as a teacher. I'm more qualified as a tutor than a teacher, because for that whole 3 years I was always in class with about 20 learners, tutoring them, and I would improve their grades. So I sought strategies, I developed strategies that I could use, that I knew in a smaller class it works, because now I work in a township school.
Yeah.
So in a smaller class it could work, but in a big class it doesn't work. You know, in a big class you have to be a teacher. With a small group you can be a tutor.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying like there's a difference. So it was that thing. And then now what happened is that I used what I have, like what do I mean? I started my tutoring company. After I started that, from my very first pay that I got was around, can I say figures?
No, let's have it now.
It was quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I took all of that money. I didn't even spend a single cent on myself. I didn't buy a pair of sneakers. I sacrificed all of it and I started my clothing brand. Yeah. I could have taken that money, had a nice time with it, but I didn't. I chose to do what? I chose to invest. I chose to follow my dreams.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm still doing even now.
I'm loving the vision, eh?
Wow.
You know, I'm loving where you started with your company. But you know, I'm a prophet. Tell me in 5 years if I'm wrong. What's going to happen?
Definitely in 5 years what's going to happen is that there'll be clothing stores, there'll be shoes, you know. Yeah, I want to create jobs. I want to create so many jobs. I want this brand to be all over the country.
So you want to franchise it?
Yes, definitely. That's the vision. You know, that's the vision. I want to franchise it. I want it to also go international. I don't want it to only be local. I want it to go international. So whenever I think about this, my mentor always tells me, don't think local, boy. Always think international. You know? So yeah, like I'm always on that mindset of, can this thing work in New York? Can this thing work in Sudan? Can this thing work in Iraq? You know? Yeah, I want it to be global. You know, I want it to be global. I want it to be a global thing.
Because you know that mindset, I would like to think it's actually the right mindset. Because there's a lot of brands that actually got stuck in South Africa.
Yeah.
Not able to jump over.
Yes, and people will try to discourage you by telling you that the name you're using, maybe it's foreign to those people. So how are you gonna get to them? So I always tell them, what is Louis Vuitton?
Yeah.
You know, yes, what is that? What is Gucci? Like you know, what is that? So if those people, if we can learn those things, they'll definitely learn how to say Manyora. They'll definitely learn how to say Manyora, and they'll know what Manyora is. They'll know what Manyora stands for. They'll know where Manyora comes from. You know, it's gonna be one of those South African brands that will be there, up there. You know, in the next 5 years, I'm definitely sure.
On some levels.
I should have found that brother who like.
Where were you? So, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to go into the same industry as you? Because you are like on a roll, on some international level, you've got mentors and you're doing great, you know, in this business. So what would you say to someone who wants to start a clothing brand?
Well, for someone who would want to do what I'm doing now, first of all, I have to say they must have the passion for it. Because without passion, trust me, you definitely are not gonna make it. Because I remember before this conversation, what happened is that me and Homolem were having a chat outside. So and I said to him, you know, the problem with us black people is that we always have this thing of following other people's dreams, not following your dreams. Just because someone is making money via taxis or via taverns, you know, every second house Kokasi has a tavern, every second house is a taxi. So now there's not enough money for everybody to eat, you know, because and the passionate ones can buy 20 taxis. But you, because you're not passionate about the thing, but you see the person making money with it, you're gonna get tired. Your taxi won't even last a year. You know, like
one accident,
even for me, you know, one accident or one strike or you know all of those things. So hence I'm saying the person must be passionate about the clothing brand firstly. So if they are passionate about it, then they must know their market. Obviously, They must know what their market is interested in. And one thing about it is that they mustn't be afraid. They mustn't be afraid. Because if you're afraid, then you're definitely gonna make it. Yeah, they mustn't be afraid. They mustn't be afraid of following that passion, of buying that 10,000 stock. They mustn't be afraid. Yeah.
Wow.
So scary. So with that being said, guys, I'm seeing some products here on the table. Where can we find them?
Well, if you want these lovely products, you can find them on Facebook, on our Facebook page, Scheme Manyora. So you go there, you inbox us, and you can view more of our products. Our catalog is there. You'll see other people wearing Manyora. And also you can follow me at Umpimet Lancelot on Facebook. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, and guys, we'll just pop down on the description below. We'll pop his details so you can actually DM him. Send him shout outs, subscribe, not subscribe, follow, like, you know, and share this video, guys. And yeah, is there anything else you'd like to leave?
Well, I'd like to leave them with a simple thing that I live by. It's my motto basically. So my motto is that if ever you're passionate about something, don't hesitate. You know, don't hesitate, because to achieve greatness you have to make a lot of sacrifices.